Hey mama, welcome to your Purpose Pop-In. I'm Danielle and this is your bite-sized boost to reset your mindset, release the chaos, and step back into your day with purpose and peace. Over the next few minutes, we'll get refocused, refreshed, and realigned. So let's get to it. Okay, mamas, I want to talk to you today at this Purpose Pop-In about something that we might be doing as moms that we may not even recognize that we're doing. And it is not something that we want to be doing. So this is about how we, as moms, as really anyone, we a lot of times are living on autopilot. We are living on autopilot instead of living with purpose, right? We are going through the motions. We have all of these things that we feel like are ongoing in our life, ongoing to-dos, ongoing things that we have to do with raising our kids, with keeping our house clean, with, keeping our house running, all of these things that we have to do as moms that we may have gotten into a rut, or we may be living on autopilot in a lot of ways. And in some of those ways, they are ways that we don't wish to be living on autopilot. I talk all of the time about how we want to be more present in our moments, right? And living on purpose and doing all of this work that we talk about all of the time. That is part of it. But what happens when we start living on autopilot is that we fall into a state of almost like doing, instead of being. And we are going through the motions of things that maybe we've gotten to a place where we do not feel in alignment with how we are reacting to a lot of situations, or with the actions that have become our autopilot, right? Things that we may now default to on autopilot, ways that don't feel in alignment with who we are. They're ways that don't feel in alignment with how we would want to act, with how we want to handle certain situations, with how we would want to be going through our days, right? And so I want to challenge you this week to think about, what are some of the things that you're doing on autopilot that don't necessarily feel like you? They don't feel like something that you would want to be doing on autopilot, right? There are a lot of ways that we can train ourselves to be on autopilot that are ways that would be in alignment with who we are and who we would want to be. And this could happen through a lot of the work that we do, in the coaching and a lot of the work that I talk about you doing in the podcast. But what are some ways that you might be acting, or things you might be doing right now on autopilot that aren't necessarily in alignment with that? They're not in alignment with who you'd want to be. They're not in alignment with the person that you would want to be. There was a time in my motherhood journey where I feel like I was doing a lot of things on autopilot that were not in alignment with who I would want to be, right? And then there are times where there's just one or two things here or there that we might be doing on autopilot that are out of alignment with who we would like to be. And it doesn't matter where you are. Like, embrace where you are, right? But don't stay there. We don't have to stay in that place where we are creating more stress for ourselves. We are creating more, maybe more self-doubt, more negative self-talk, more of the things that we do not want in our life by operating this way, by this becoming our default. But a lot of times we might not even recognize how we got to this place. Like, you might feel like you're walking through your entire life on autopilot right now. I know I felt that way at some point in time in my motherhood journey. And it wasn't until I recognized it and started to take some of these actions that we talk about to step out of that. And on Thursday, I'm really going to get into what you can do when you are operating in this place to stop operating from this autopilot person that doesn't even feel like you, right? This is not the pilot that you would choose to be operating your life, right? To be driving your plane, to be flying your plane, right? This is not how you would want to act. And I want to help you to be able to operate from that place where it's more on purpose, right? It is less out of alignment with who you feel that you are, and it is more on purpose. So we're going to get into that on Thursday. But until then, I just really want you to reflect on just what is something that you're doing that actually doesn't feel like you. You're doing it on autopilot and it doesn't really feel like who you are. And there may be more than one thing, no judgment here. Like I said, I really feel like there were a lot of things throughout my motherhood journey that I have done on autopilot that actually felt nothing like the person that I knew that I was and the mom that I would have wanted to be, right? So no matter where you are, it is okay, but just reflect on that and we will do a deep dive on Thursday on how you can get more into a space where you are feeling like you're operating from who you are and you're operating on purpose and in alignment with how you want to be and not defaulting to this place where it does not feel like you, okay? So think about that. And if you would like some more help or more resources from me, go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, prioritizewithpurpose.com. Check out my website. I have some free downloadable resources there, as well as you can sign up for a coaching call with me, and I will meet you right back here on Thursday. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right here on Thursday. Keep smiling, y'all.